It is funny how my hair is a lot of conversation, but it is so needy, y'all. It is so needy. And you can see why I always pull the top up, because all depending on the day, I've already edited, downloaded between posts, videos, reels. Then I get ready. Sometimes I get ready before I post, but every day, this is your every day of being, I guess, what they call influencers. I don't know. I'm just somebody who makes content. It's been crazy busy with sales. I don't know, like everybody waited until like the same week to do a whole bunch of sales. So Chris had the week off. He had projects planned, but then there were so many good sales in the week of like home projects to get done, and then it was hot. It just, we went to sales instead. Now the fun part of being a reseller and a home decor lover is the buying of the items. Now the hard part now is deciding what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to change out, what I've got to clean. And I am somebody who doesn't like clutter. I don't even think Chris likes clutter. But I woke up with a headache this morning. Yesterday I wasn't feeling the best. Our little sweet Tater, who's hiding, had some surgery yesterday, had his teeth cleaned. The poor little 3-year-old cat, who was cursed with a gum disease. So yesterday I was stressed. You know, when your relatives are having surgery in a hospital, you can hang out there and you can, you know, chat with each other. But when your animals are having surgery, you just drop them off and then pray for the best. But we noticed like some weird reaction. Like, he's always been a skinny cat, but a couple times he would go to eat a treat and you could tell that like there was some mouth pain. Not like your babies let you in their mouths and look. And then one Friday afternoon, I went to pet him and I like tried to rub against his chin, and he was like growled at me, and I'm like, what? That's not a normal reaction for this sweet baby. So of course I called the vet immediately and asked if we could get in, and so they examined him, and she's like, yeah, his gums were inflamed. He definitely had a gum disease, whether the teeth were loose or not, and he's not even 3, you know, but they said it's just something, there's some long-term, because, you know, I slaughter words as it is about that. And yeah, so he had to go under, get his teeth cleaned, and they were going to pull any if they were loose that day, which made me very nervous. Oh, and the thing about sweet little Tater is always had his fangs are bucky. They stick out of his mouth. So he's always been like a drooly cat. So you didn't think too much of it because his little teethers all didn't fit into his mouth. And so I'm like, oh, you know, and it was just one of those things we kind of, you know, it's this little quirkiness. I love the perfectly imperfect. We are not perfect, you know, and that never bothered me, but never did I take it that his excessive drooling had to do with he had bad gums. Oh, that breaks my heart. Sometimes I have to get a curling iron out because I probably sat at the computer downloading too long while my hair was trying to dry, but it's all good. That's why I don't give you hair tips ever. I just do my hair until I think it looks like I don't scare small children. But so that was my day on Monday. And then, of course, my thought that he was going to come and curl on my lap when he got back from his surgery, but no, he just hid him behind the couch the entire time. And I was trying to get him to eat food because he hadn't ate since 8 o'clock the night before. And I'm like, oh, my sweet little Tater, you know, and Peach is wondering, our other cat's like, where is my buddy? You know, like, am I going next? You know, that's how cats are. But, and then it was, of course, a fight to get into the kitty carrier because, you know, we don't really travel with cats very much. So anyway, y'all, that's the story. And he has to go back in 6 weeks. They didn't pull any of his teeth this trip, but he has to go back in 6 weeks. And we will go from there. And the chances are, they said the chances are he'll end up eventually having his teeth pulled. They'll start off with the back ones, and then I didn't even know I didn't know it was a thing. I did not know. So there's our busy season into our cat having surgery, and Mama's a little bit, you know, worried about her baby, but I mean, they're your family members. You all know that. They're your family members. So I don't finish up my hair, and then I got some dishes to do. I like to straighten my house a little bit before I go out and work. I need to sort. I spent Monday listing everything for Whatnot shows. I love doing the Whatnot shows, and you all are so supportive of the Whatnot shows. I did not think I would be vlogging in my bathroom. But you have to realize, like, I have to list everything, and I think you get better views on Whatnot if you can spend the time listing each item, discussing each item a little bit, and getting as many pictures as you can on there. I think that helps people be able to, like, want to save your show because they see some stuff, you know. My time is valuable, so I know when I go to look at somebody's Whatnot, if they don't necessarily have anything pre-listed, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to wait for you to hold something up. Some people do, and that works out wonderful for other people, but I want to get it pre-listed. That's why we're only doing one sale a week, whether it's a Wednesday or Sunday, because so many people couldn't do Wednesdays. So we try to do Sundays, but up until football season, because you know my husband's a football fan, and yeah. Anyway, that's his that's his enjoyment. So instead of showing you another haul video, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a little vlogging, show you what I'm up to, and the craziness of it all. I have to get reset first before I can put new content out there. Mentally, I have to be prepared. That's just the type of person I am. I clutters my mind, you know, does my creativeness bad. So you're just gonna hang with me if you want. If you don't, click off, or you already clicked off. It's all good. Well, it's all good, y'all. It's fine. I am who I am, and we are who we are, and we're not superhuman. We get overwhelmed just like the rest of us, but we can edit that all out, and it makes it look like one big happy, like, oh, look at my house always looks like this. Oh, it does. Now it does. Chris is very helpful. Chris, you know, he works his day job for insurance. You know, insurance is huge in life. I wish you had insurance for your animals. I'm sure you can buy insurance for your animals. But so he works his day job, and then he has been loving cooking on the Blackstone, which I am so appreciative. So in the middle of dropping Tater off, I usually do grocery delivery. You know, you just at this point of your life, you just hit reorder. You order the same stuff. And I thought, you know, I would go into the grocery store, probably spent 3 times as much as I would have just reordering stuff or reordering stuff. But anyway, I got stuff for him to do on the Blackstone. And now I need to go do those dishes up because I just wasn't feeling like doing dishes last night. And he was hanging some galvanized up on the back area, bringing in some of the furniture that we had sprayed off from an auction that needed to be washed off and sat in the sun to dry, and now need to be watched to make sure that they don't have any post beetles. Oh yeah, if you could just pick up an item at a sale and, like, oh, I'm just gonna put it right for sale. You know, put it into your booth. Yeah, yeah. That's a nice dream. It's a nice dream, but okay. This might be good enough for today. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, sometimes I have to put some extra curls in. why does it matter if your couch is straightened up? I don't know. It just does. And I actually would like to clean my couch. I think before one of the holidays, I cleaned the couch to a certain percentage of cleaning it. And I only cleaned one side of the cushions, and they kind of look dirty on the other side. So I actually would, that's on my to-do list of cleaning. That's the only bit. It cleans real easy with just water because they Scotch Guard stuff so nice. But light couch, probably wouldn't do it again. Got to open the curtains so the cats, when they decide to get up from their morning nap, can look out the windows at the birds. So I don't know. It's just like those little things that make you feel better getting them done. I mean, that simple. Cats pull these down. I don't know. Maybe you're all the same. Like if you just do those little things, that take minutes, minimal time, then they don't just add up all at once. I have all these items. I have a decor video, a decorate with me video. I needed to do with adding thrift haul finds that I want to keep in, the auction halls and the shopping adventures. I have some on my entertainment area, which I'm excited for because I haven't done that area. Got some Walmart flowers the other day, did a little social media on there, getting that Papa Orange for fall in there. But now I gotta go do some dishes. That's not as much fun. So y'all know, we have dishes. We have dirty dishes. We eat food. We cook. Yeah. And then you show a home tour video and you're like, oh, look at my clean house. We don't have. Yeah, there's that. So since they were last night's dishes, I soaked them in the sink. Had some water soaking in the sink. So I like my sink to a point, but I wish we had to do this tub in it because it doesn't have a place to. I mean, you have to use the whole sink to do the water. Would we like to change it out? Yeah. Would we like to change the countertops out? Yeah. Time, effort, money. Just like everybody else, you have to pick your battles, and heat and like those things that nobody sees. We just put the mini split in the garage, and then he's going to come back and do some stuff for the wood burner because we're getting rid of the wood burner because there's radiant floor heat in the garage, and we still want to use it, but if you're not using the wood burner, then it doesn't work. So the same gentleman that put in our mini split is going to come back and move or add a water heater to run that. And then hopefully he knew a few people that might be interested in buying the wood burner that have the equipment, because you can't just put it on the side of the road. You can't just put it on the side of the road and say, buy this. You have to know how to take it apart because there's pieces and parts in the basement. Just not something we want to deal with. Even though he can get free wood, it's still time consuming. You'll be sitting there out in the day in the winter and you'll be like, oh, I got to get home because it's going to, the wood's going to be down and it's a cold, windy day and I got to fill it back up. And so there's all that, so, and we talked about maybe sometime having a greenhouse there. That would be really nice. Because, yeah. Anyhow, so we're gonna work on that, and then the other part we would like the gentleman to do, and he said it's doable. This is an 1851 house. The house is old, y'all. So the original part of the house where I'm standing is dirt. Some of it is cement, where the new furnace was put, and the other is dirt. And for whatever reason, your water heater, your water softener, the well pump is all on the dirt part. So we would like to have it all moved to the cement part and then just close that area off if we possibly could. That way we wouldn't be so paranoid, because there's like two areas of crawl spaces, and you're always paranoid that the cats are going to get down there and get into something, and the dirt, the radon, we have protectors, and you know how that goes. It's always something, and that's all the stuff that costs money, and it doesn't make your house look pretty. It doesn't make your house look pretty. It's stuff that most people may not think needs to be done, but it kind of does. We need heat. We need, accessibility a little bit better, because with it being on that crawl space on the dirt, Chris has to duck down to get to it. It's only like a 5-foot space. It's not very tall. Every time he has to add water to water softener, salt to the water softener, which is not anywhere like our old house when we lived, because we had to do that like monthly. Ooh, that's bright. Yeah, it's Blackstone tray. If you're gonna cook, I will do the dishes. Sometimes he does the dishes. There's no rhyme or reason. We just do things because they need to be done, But anyway, y'all, so if you feel the need to hang and don't mind a little odd video once in a while, I'm pretty sure, I don't think I've ever done this type of video. Feel like I should be doing a live chatting, but I don't know. I would be able to do dishes and read text at the same time. Why? Yeah, wait till you see our garage. Our garage is kind of a nightmare with all those halls. That's with that area, then the pavilion area, that we'd like to make that outdoor space, because he has been into watching others do cooking on the Blackstone. So he gets all these ideas from people cooking on the Blackstones. And yes, I throw my thrifted, as I'm doing dishes, I wash up a couple of the things that we got in auction halls. I'm like, well, there's like I said, they're never just clean. I think that's actually flour. Hopefully I can get it out. Hopefully it comes out. And most of it came out, so it doesn't make too much of a paste. So I'll finish up dishes, and then we'll go ahead and I'll go show you my areas that I'm going to be working on, figuring out what to do, pricing. Yes, in the midst of it all, our daughter had a flat tire. She has to work in Grand Rapids this week, and she'd already planned on borrowing Chris's van, because she works for Family Farm and Home, and she was bringing some racking systems back. She helps set up new stores. Her plan eventually, she'd love to be a district manager, so she has a plan to do stuff like that. But she needed to have his van, and then unfortunately her car got a flat, and she was supposed to have them look at the tire when she got an oil change, and then when she got it home and looked at her bill, nobody said anything about it. They're like, they never looked at her tire. So she woke up the next morning, she has a flat tire, so I can't really drive anywhere with her car very far. And she has a little Jeep. So Chris had to take her tire in today to get it fixed. This is just life. It's everyday life, y'all. You think, anyway, and plus, so I would have probably took stuff to stock, the booth and stuff, but I can't, because her car's not. She's got the little donut on there. And you shouldn't drive that too awful far. Taking Tater to the vet yesterday was probably enough, but it's just life. Everybody can share a story every day. Something happens with somebody every day. Every day. If not, we'd be bored. Here's my one mess. I spent all day yesterday listing that stuff for whatnot. Then I need to put the other whatnot, which is on that side underneath the table, back up there for the show tomorrow. This is Tuesday. That I want to do a Halloween, but I need to, if we are selling tomorrow, those tables all need to be cleared because that stuff goes there. We have extra tables, but okay, come on, y'all. But so I need to figure out what to do with that. Look at these yummies I got the other day at an antique booth. Probably some of the kitties might stay with me. You know, I collect black kitties. So we will see. Oh, I love that. That they would go with my. Anyway, y'all. So I want to do a Halloween show. Somebody broke my fish tail off, so I have to figure out if I can JB weld him back on. Well, he was rusty crusty, so it happens. There's another little bit of a haul. Some of my packing supplies need to be taken care of. Need to figure out. Some of it went out yesterday where I'm going to redo them. More packing supplies, if you did not know. Of course, as soon as I started selling on Whatnot was changing their shipping. Look at my poor hair, y'all. Their shipping. So you used to be able to get priority boxes for free through the postal service. Well, now it's kind of been eliminated now through Whatnot. And I don't know how long this will last. And if I share it with y'all, don't be getting all the free boxes. But Posh, which is an app that's a reselling app, somehow they get regular boxes. That's what those are. And you can order them. I'm not the only one that knows. Free boxes through the Posh app. So, I mean, because that's huge. Shipping the supplies are huge. And especially like when I first started selling on Whatnot, that was one of my biggest complaints. Well, one, I don't feel like I know everything. I will never tell you I know everything. I do my best asking people. I do my best Google Lensing, eBay, researching. That's all you can do. And I remember a lady was mad at me because she said I sold her a Fenton hobnail vase that wasn't Fenton. Well, back in the day, there was two different ways that they did it depending on the age group. They stickered it, and stickers come off, or they would have the little embossed Fenton. And so she was positive I sold her a reproduction, and I'm like, it had to have had a sticker. So that turned me off right there. And I just recently sold somebody a Santa, and when it was sold to me, it was sold as a Rushton. And I don't mind telling you, but I did not know that they made a My Toy. And she was just kind enough to let me know, like, I'm not turning you in because you can get violations through Whatnot for selling stuff. It was sold to me as a Rushton. The person who came to me knowing I collected them sold it to me knowing that. And so I never even questioned it. I'm like, nope. She's been a reseller for a million years, it seems like. She's up there. And anyway, so I never even questioned, researching it. Well, when the lady got it, she knew right away, like she knew that it was actually a My Toy. So I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm not. So I'm glad that she contacted me instead of contacting Whatnot. I just sent her out a reimbursement. No, y'all, don't start getting nitpicking me, making me reimburse everybody, y'all. And that's why I always say, I list things as fair and damage because these are secondhand finds. I'm not perfect. I mean, I try to take as many pictures as I can. I try to show the call outs as I can. But we're going to get things wrong, And if you followed our channel from the beginning, what are we, 6 years into this? I don't know everything. And just because I collect it doesn't mean I know everything either. I just like it. So I'm learning, and how you lick your wounds is one of the ways you learn. You know what I mean? You get something wrong, and then you don't make that mistake again, and you have to eat it. And especially being an influencer, I feel like I have to make it right. I had a lady also, she lost a package. She's a regular buyer. I don't know where the package are. And then when we're mad dashing, like I'm up to 1 a.m. packing after a whatnot sale, because if I don't, then that takes the whole nother day away from me. Um, and I know my big orders are always bundled at the end, and that's where I'm coming to that. Whatnot then lets you now separate it. Before Whatnot, you had to fit every one of those purchases into a box, and it all had to be able to be packaged safely. So the next thing you know, you have this ginormous boxes, and it made what I love now that we can separate it like that, and that you go to the 5 pounds. They don't want you to ship more than 5 pounds, or I have the option to say, this teapot or this sugar dish with handles and a spouts or something with tusks or horns. I can ship it separately for it to be safely delivered to you, because it sounds like her package. I swear that I did. Chris was helping me that night. He usually goes to bed because he has to work in the next one. I mean, I know that I work, but and I'm like, I swear, I know I did not package all that in one package, even with that big box. She had some other stuff, and I swear, but it didn't show that we unbundled it on Whatnot. I don't know why. I'm like, it still shows that it's all bundled, and now I'm like, I've gone crazy. I drove myself crazy, thinking, did I really put it all in that box? I'm like, I wouldn't have. That would have been too many items in one box. But it did not read another tracking number. And finally, praise the Lord, she got it. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Oh my gosh. I am like a basket case to all you get your packages. It's just my personality. But anyway, there's my little story short. Yes, you can get free boxes from the Posh app if you fill the need. So there's a couple different sizes, and then I order boxes, and a lot, I do the packaging. Chris helps do the labeling, separating, handing me. They have changed the system on Whatnot a lot, and you just have to get used to using it. So we'll just keep doing it so far, as long as I don't make too many more mistakes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, now this will be my day. Getting that stuff back up, and then figuring out, because like I said, like the lamps I would have already taken to Hog Creek, but I don't have my car, so I have to wait till tomorrow. So I need to get an area where I know that's going to Hog Creek or Antique, and then I need to figure out, like, y'all buy so well on one night. I hope I feel like I get really good stuff, and I don't mind paying up, and you guys are so generous, finding treasures for you all, because that's is huge. Being able to find the yummy treasures, the good pieces, what I consider good pieces, somebody else may not consider good pieces, but I try my best. So that's where I'm at today. that I'll probably clear off this little table that we bought. Did we buy a 1950? I don't even know the era table. I got to clean the desk. I don't know if I have any room for the desk to go anywhere in our booth. I try not to buy too much furniture because it doesn't sell like it used to. That's why you don't really see me painting furniture anymore. It just doesn't sell like it did. And it kind of just like sat, and then I was basically giving it away for less than I was paying for it. And so I just had to stop doing furniture. And it's still, every area is different. Some people can sell it and it just flies out the door as soon as they do it. I don't know. That's why I gave up my craft booth in the craft side to Alex and Becca, so they could, the more you have, the more you can sell. And then I couldn't really move completely because I sell 1803 candles. I could only sell them in the booth. And so I keep a little bit of my crafted supply, because most of you are my crafts for sale, because most of you all are always like, oh, do we get to bid on that? Do we get to buy that? Not only on eBay were you guys so generous of bidding, and I've always started dollar starts on eBay too, 99 cents on eBay, and the dollar starts. And then if somebody wants my crafted items, it just warms my heart. I try really well to make nice items that somebody wants. So, and it's funny because I've done a few reposting on the channel, going back through old videos, seeing what was popular. I went back kind of far, and I was like, oh, wow, like my painting technique definitely has changed. I showed some glue, some Elmer school glue technique of crackle, um and it wasn't that it was bad. It's just, it's an upgrade. That's just, you're constantly evolving. That's the word I'm looking for, right? We're just constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. There's new products out there. You get better and better and better, and you tear yourself up. um I love the milk paint. I love the paint that I used at that time, and it was wonderful, and you can't get it anymore. But I love the milk paint because I can really give it that old timey character. Because the week before posting this video, we had so many primitive auctions right in a row that I was like, I'm trying to reproduce that paint. That's the paint I'm trying to reproduce. I just absolutely love that paint. And you can achieve it with the milk paint. I don't want pristine. And it's funny, if I would go to Hog Creek, I was chatting with somebody I ran into the other day, and I'm like, my completely painted, non-distressed stuff is just sitting there. And I'm probably going to end up bringing it home and giving it a new paint job. My distressed, my chippy paint, my old time look are the ones that sell. We all, I don't know. Is it easier for somebody to paint a cleaner paint job and probably reproduce it? And y'all who are trying the milk paint, once you get it, you will get it, and then you'll be like, oh, I've got it. And if I could find like the first video of my nightmare, my nightmare of painting with milk paint, y'all, everything went wrong. And I'm like, I love the color. I love the old timey color. I want to figure this out. So you just keep using it in trial and error, and then just keep making it look better. It's only paint. That's the only thing. I'll get messages and people will be like, hey, have you ever like just thrown a project away? I can't think that I have. I can't think that maybe one or two in the lifetime of doing this I have. And it must have gone terribly. It must have gone terribly wrong, because it's just paint, and you just like, well, that didn't work. Let's paint some more, or take that paint off, or sand it down and put another coat on it. Waxes and oils are amazing to add on. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, I can put it on a time thing that you can watch me put away stuff, but that doesn't sound so much fun, does it? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because like I said, I carried a lot of the project pieces out. Everything kind of needs a bath, so it's into the house, out with the house. You know, we washed the lamps up already, so it's just separating things and getting them to where they need to go. But I have to, by the end of this day, I have to have that table cleared. That's how that works. And videos like this is where I wish we had could afford to have our floors redone, done, because you see all that paint chip. I hate it, but it is what it is. So, okay. My husband's keeping this, so this is going out to the shop. This will probably get put in the booth. This will get put in the booth. This is a project piece. This is a project piece. Booth, project piece. Out to the shop. Like I said, buying the stuff is the easy part. Did I buy paper? Oh, yes, I did. If you're going to go cheaper than what I can buy at a hardware store, I'm going to buy you, because I use a lot of it. And probably another day I'll take you to the shop, because unfortunately I've been unloading it all into the shop, and the shop's a mess too. So I have this area I need to do first before the whatnot, and then before I can get crafting again, I have to work on that area. And I always love doctors. They're like, well, how much do you exercise? I don't sit down ever until I'm editing, which is usually at night or first thing in the morning. These are the totes that we use when we go to auctions for auction hauls. We leave a little bit of paper. Where our daughter works, she works at a farm store, and some of their inventory comes in there. And then some of them just get turned into garbage, and so we were able to get a few. I think Alex and Becca were able to get a few also. And then I need to take, this is our free pile. There just gets to a point where something's been in the booth too long. You've marked it down, and then I don't see any value or time or effort. And I know people are like, put it up or whatnot. Not all of that is there. Some of it, and I always take my price tags off. So, and we have a space out in our barn that we put that. So when we get enough for a trailer load, we usually will do them like on a Sunday morning. We'll do a free pile, but I'll have to go get the wagon for that. And you can't have too many IKEA bags at all. You cannot. Of course, I'm starting off taking care of the easy clutter, right? Yeah, that's the easy clutter. So I've made it this far. This is stuff that goes into Hog Creek that needs priced. This stuff goes into Hog Creek's outdoor booth. This I still have to carry out to the shop because I'm going to make vignettes out of that before selling those. I need Chris to carry that. My table is cleared off. He wanted to take some dimensions of that because he's thinking about building one. I wanted to dust off this cute little croquet set. He's got to carry that out. I need to lift that stuff back up, put it on the whatnot shelf that I just got done dusting. Oh, so you want to be a reseller, right? Don't look at this pile because, like I said, that's for sales. So that's stuff I believe that you all will want on Whatnot. So I'm saving that for Whatnot. If I ever need, like there's holes in my booth at Hog Creek, a little bit hot and sweaty now. But like, yeah, so if there's ever holes in my booth at Hog Creek, holes are not good in your retail booth. You don't want holes. So that should always come first for stocking that. I fluff it usually a couple times a week, usually like on a Monday and on a Friday to make sure that everything's good for the weekend and then refluffed up after the weekend. But yeah, so like I said, that's really full right now because of we did 4 auctions and then antique store, a big antique store. So yeah, so I'm tired. And so I have to price this. Yeah, I'm dusting off because that's, we use this space. This is like a continuation of our house, our garage. So as you know, we film out here, we show you hauls out here. We host family get-togethers out here. This is, when we bought this piece of property, this was a huge seller for it because this was a usable space that we didn't usually have to clutter up our house. I cluttered it up a lot here, bless Chris's heart. So yeah, so I got to get that haul up, and then I start pulling some of the stuff, and when I have time, what I think I'll do for the next show. So by the time I have one show going to be, I'm hoping to always have another show listed. I probably won't be any farther ahead in that. It takes time, and then I'm always so funny. It's like staging a room. I got to make my little bookshelf. I've seen people. I think they have multiple bookshelves in multiple areas on Whatnot, but I'm just gonna keep it right there. I hope. I'll probably eat my words someday because it would. I did say that to Chris one day. I'm like, oh, it'd be so nice to have 2 bookshelves, but I also stage. Like when I finish an item on the Ginger Chick channel, I like to stage it for you all. I've seen people doing it with AI now. Oh, I love to decorate, so I don't think I'll ever do AI. But anyway, so either I put it in my own home for home decor and stage it, or I put it out here to stage it on the postal area, depending on. Sometimes I even do it in my terracotta out in my workshop. So yeah. Oh, do you want to? I just got an eBay. I got an eBay package, y'all. Do you want to see what I got? I'll open it. It's well, I'm not gonna say it's nothing big. It is big. For me. Yeah, I mean, you cannot always buy off eBay to resell. So even though we do look, and a lot of people do find yummies off of that. Oh, they wrapped him so well. I'm sure you all know what he is already. He is a little Santa Claus. And then I'll have to save myself from now on and write Russian style on everything if I'm not positive. I thought I was positive, but I eat my words daily. So here he is. Oh my goodness. I like these little fellas, like even these chunky ones, because I put them in my Crocs at Christmas time above my shelves in my kitchen and have them all judging us. And you can even see his little ribbon and having him look down on us. So yeah, he's from my collection. I'm sure sometime I'll do another Christmas show, but I try to find the ones that aren't so stained up for y'all, because there are a lot stained up. So we'll just see how that goes. But I like him. He's a little cutie. He'll go into my Santa pile. No judging on we're empty nesters, so I have a whole bunch of Santas. I do have actually, because I've already filmed my haul videos of this because I needed to get them done, and then when I went to go do some mails, I had a couple viewer gifts, so I might as well just add them in. So this one is from Erica. It's a little envelope. There's a couple crows out in our backyard, and I really want to befriend. I really want to friend them. I'm not going to give them brass keys, but I've seen stories of people doing that, and I think it's so cool. Okay, hold on. Childproof. This is just a video of a little bit of everything today. Take that. So these are old clock keys. Some house keys. Little key. These are great for vignettes, great to put in. I appreciate that. I'll have to. Oh, okay. Her sister introduced us to the channel, and you guys say prayers for her that she lost her sister earlier this year. Prayers for you. I know how that feels. Well, I haven't lost my sister, but losing a loved one it's huge. It's always huge. Wears on your heart. And then this one is from Lisa. I saw a card. Not that you don't want to be a downer, but life happens, unfortunately. And bought and sold her entire life in 2 antique malls. Aww. And then she buys for me on Whatnot. Thank you. I know I need a cheat sheet on Whatnot because everybody's username doesn't always describe what their name is. In my downtime, I need to write, oh, look at all these colored. Oh, I'm so into orange right now. And the green. Oh my gosh, that's something that you don't normally find. You don't find the green. Oh my gosh. This reminds me of watermelon in summer. Those are beautiful. I mean, you don't see too many colored ones. You see the white and the cream. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for thinking about me. And thank you for the viewer, Diane, who sent me the invitation for Urban Salvage. Unfortunately, that's US 12 sale weekend. So I believe that's this weekend. Yes, that's going on now. As I'm filming this. So that's one of the other things putting me behind is US 12 and 127 sales. Can't miss them. I just can't. Okay. Next time I'll show you, or I can leave the camera up for a little while and show you as I'm restaging my whatnot shelf if you want. If you want to hang out and listen to me talk to myself. So just so you don't think I know exactly what I'm doing, I actually have on my iPad, I take a picture of what the stuff, how it's set up. That just makes it easier to grab than you're not like hen and picking. You're like, where is it? Where is it? And then these always end up rolling on me. So I need my spice to be able to put that in front of it. Got my spice. Don't like ladders, but I do them when I have to. Okay, don't fall. I knew it always is gonna roll. Oh, that's helpful. Can I believe I found a green one of these? That is just awesome. Okay, what's next? Okay. Having a picture to go by just makes it so much easier. I could have kept my cheating, like, oh, I'm just throwing this up by memory. Not. Okay, now I don't need the ladder. I know my shows probably have a lot of green in them, but that is kind of like, that's what I like. I'd probably stage this just like I decorate my own house, right? May not get everything exactly the same, but we'll be close. It doesn't look like a ton until you go right in down and you're listing it and you're like, oh, that's a lot. Honestly, if I didn't have a ton of ironstone, it was really hard not to keep this piece. It is so gorgeous. And there we are. I think we're good. These are the last few things. And I think that's good for the night. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. Bye.